Welcome to a brand new episode from SimplyEnglishPod.
Hi there. Yeah, it's great to be back.
So, have you ever felt, a bit awkward or maybe stuck when you try to order coffee in English?
It's definitely something we hear about, a really common situation for learners. Even ordering something simple, like a coffee, can feel a bit daunting sometimes in a new language.
In this episode, we're going to try and make that easier for you.
Good plan.
Because getting your coffee, it's not just about the drink, is it? It's a fantastic way to practice your English, like in a real situation.
It really is. And think how often you might pop into a coffee shop. So it's a skill you can use, again and again.
And here's what we think is possible for you. If you practice what we cover today, say just 10 minutes a day, for about a month, you'll be able to walk into pretty much any cafe and order with real confidence.
Yeah, it doesn't need years of study or expensive courses.
No, just that little bit of practice, consistently, every day.
That consistency, even short bursts, it just adds up, doesn't it?
It really does. So try not to worry too much. Have a bit of faith in yourself. You can absolutely do this. So today's episode, we're really focusing on something practical, something you can use like straight away. How to order coffee confidently, and also understanding a little bit about coffee shop culture.
That's important too. The specific language you need, yes, but also those sort of cultural bits and pieces.
Because coffee shops now, they're kind of like social centers, aren't they?
Yeah, places to meet, to work.
And perfect spots for a bit of informal English practice. Listening, maybe trying a few phrases out, or just have a quiet moment. They offer this relaxed, friendly space to practice without too much pressure. So maybe grab your favorite mug.
Good idea.
And let's get started. Let's build that confidence with some English shadowing. Could you explain shadowing quickly? What's the idea?
Okay, shadowing. It's basically listening to someone speak and then repeating exactly what they said right after them. So in this first part, we're going to focus on some really useful phrases for ordering. We'll say each one twice. First, nice and slow, really clear. Then we'll say it again at a more natural conversational speed.
I'm going to leave a little gap after each repeat so you can say it yourself.
That's it. That's the shadowing technique. It's really good for your pronunciation, your intonation, the rhythm of English.
Just try and copy exactly what you hear.
Yeah, the sounds, the emphasis, the flow.
All right, let's give it a go.
Okay, first up, a really standard way to start.
Hi, can I get a flat white, please? Hi, can I get a flat white, please?
Did you catch that slight rise on please? That little lift in your voice.
Yeah, it's subtle, but it really signals politeness in English requests. Okay, next one.
I'll have an iced latte with oat milk. I'll have an iced latte with oat milk. Hear how iced latte almost blends together there.
Yeah, it flows.
Next.
Do you have any non-dairy options? Do you have any non-dairy options?
Hear that little bit of stress on a, do you have any non-dairy options? It's subtle.
Right. Next. Can I see the menu, please? Can I see the menu, please?
And there's that rising tone again, that upward inflection signals it's a question.
Makes sense. How about this one? What kind of coffee would you recommend? What kind of coffee would you recommend?
This is a great one if you're unsure, just curious. Shows you're interested, and you might discover something new.
Oh, okay, maybe you want a little something extra.
Like a snack.
Yeah. I'll just grab a muffin to go, thanks. I'll just grab a muffin to go, thanks.
Using just grab a muffin sounds a bit more casual, but more natural sometimes than just get.
Yeah, it does. Now, a question the barista might ask you.
Ah, yes.
Is that for here or to take away? Is that for here or to take away?
And notice how to take away links together. To take away.
Right. And thinking about paying.
Crucial step.
Do you accept cards or is it cash only? Do you accept cards or is it cash only?
That slight emphasis on cash. It contrasts the two options.
Okay, what if you hear a type of coffee you don't know? The flat white.
You could ask like this.
I'm not familiar with flat whites. What are they exactly? I'm not familiar with flat whites. What are they exactly?
That sounds much more natural than just asking, what is a flat white?
Yeah, softens it a bit. Okay, and finally, how to wrap things up. That'll be all for today. Thanks so much. That'll be all for today. Thanks so much.
And listen to the voice going down at the end there. It signals you're finished ordering. So hopefully that shadowing helped you get a feel for the rhythm and sound.
Okay, great. We've practiced some key phrases. Now let's try and put them into a more realistic cafe context. Let's do a role play. A typical cafe chat. This is a really good chance for you, the listener, to just tune in to the flow, the tone of voice, the back and forth rhythm.
Try shadowing both roles if you like. Pay attention to the language used by both the barista and the customer. Morning? What can I get started for you today?
Hi there, can I get a flat white, please?
Of course. Would you like that for here or to take away?
For here, thanks. Oh, and do you happen to have oat milk available?
Yes, we certainly do. We have oat, almond, and soy milk.
Great, oat milk then. And what would you suggest from the pastries?
Our blueberry muffins were just baked this morning, and they are really delicious with coffee.
They sound good. I'll take one of those as well.
Wonderful. That will be $11.50 in total.
Do you take cards or is it cash only?
Cards are fine. You can tap your card when you're ready.
Thanks very much.
Would you like a receipt?
No, I'm all set, thank you.
No problem at all. Find a comfortable spot and I'll bring everything over to you.
I appreciate that. Have a good day.
Nice one.
Yeah.
That felt pretty realistic, didn't it?
Yeah. And you see how those phrases we practice just slot right in?
They do. It's about having them ready, almost like tools in a toolbox.
Now, to take things a step further, making you sound even more like, someone who's comfortable in a cafe, let's chat a bit about coffee culture. Understanding these little differences can really help you sound more local.
It can, yeah. It's not just the words, it's the context around them.
The unwritten rules sometimes.
So let's start with some coffee vocabulary around the world. Names for drinks can change.
Like what?
In the U.S., for example, you might hear someone order a red-eye.
A red eye. What's that?
It's pretty simple, actually. Just a regular cup of drip coffee with a shot of espresso added.
Ah, for an extra kick.
Yeah, for when you need a bit more energy.
Okay. And then there's the flat white. We practiced ordering one. Very popular now. Where did that start?
Good question. That one came out of Australia and New Zealand back in the 1980s.
And what makes it different? People sometimes seem confused between that, a latte, a cappuccino.
Yeah, it sits somewhere in between, really. Typically, it's a double shot of espresso.
Okay.
And steamed milk, but specifically microfoam. That means the milk has really tiny, velvety bubbles, not big stiff foam like some cappuccinos.
Ah, smooth.
Very smooth. And it's usually served in a slightly smaller cup than a latte.
So stronger coffee flavor.
Generally, yes. More coffee forward.
I do like a good flat white. Then you've got things like the piccolo latte.
Yeah, another one popular in Australia.
That's usually a ristretto shot, which is like a shorter, more intense espresso shot with just a bit of warm, silky milk, often in a small glass.
Sounds neat. Almost like a mini latte.
Okay. Lots of variations. How about a cortado? I hear that one sometimes.
Ah, the cortado. That comes from Spain.
Spain, right?
It's pretty straightforward. Equal parts espresso and steamed milk. Simple.
And the name, cortado.
It means cut in Spanish. The idea is the milk cuts through the acidity of the espresso.
I see. So knowing these names is pretty handy if you're traveling.
Definitely.
Now, what about taking your coffee with you? The language for that, does it change?
It really does. Ordering to go. In the United States, you'd usually say to go.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. What about elsewhere? The UK? Australia?
In the UK, Australia, New Zealand,
Yeah.
the common term is takeaway.
Takeaway, right.
So you'd say, can I get a latte for takeaway, please?
Okay, easy enough.
Canada's interesting. They use both. To go and takeaway are both well understood.
Flexible. And maybe Asia, Singapore, or Hong Kong.
Takeaway is generally the more common term there, too.
So takeaway is a good one to remember as an alternative to go.
For sure.
Okay, let's talk milk. Because, wow, there's so many options now beyond just regular dairy milk, aren't there?
Oh, absolutely. The whole plant-based milk trend has just exploded.
It really has. You see it everywhere.
Yeah, the market for non-dairy milk has grown massively. Billions of dollars.
So what are the main ones people can confidently ask for?
The most common are probably oat milk, super popular now, almond milk, soy milk, and coconut milk. Those are pretty standard in most places.
Any others showing up?
You might sometimes see macadamia milk. That's one of the newer ones popping up.
Good to know the names. Helps you get exactly what you want. Okay, finally, let's touch on cafe etiquette worldwide. Those little customs, like tipping, that's a big one.
Yes, tipping varies a lot. In the U.S., it's pretty standard to tip in a cafe.
Yeah.
Usually 15 to 20%.
Okay. Canada.
Canada, that's more optional. Often appreciated, but not strictly expected like in the States.
And Australia, New Zealand, Europe.
Generally, no. Tipping in cafes isn't really a common practice in those places.
That's really useful to know. Avoids awkward moments. What about people working in cafes? On laptops?
Yeah, that's another cultural difference. In North America, it's often more accepted, people working for hours in a cafe. But in parts of Europe and Asia, maybe less so, especially if the cafe is busy.
It's frowned upon.
It can be, yeah. Seen as taking up valuable space when others want a table. Just need to be mindful.
Makes sense. Be considerate. Anything else? Noise levels.
Good point. Noise levels can vary too. Like in Japan, cafes tend to be quieter. People appreciate soft speaking.
Okay.
Whereas in Italy, cafes can be really lively. Lots of animated chat.
So just kind of gauge the atmosphere.
Exactly. Observe the vibe and try to blend in.
That's all really great context, super helpful for feeling more comfortable. Okay, now, to really put this into practice, we've got our weekly challenge for you.
Yep. 3 different levels. Choose the one that feels right for where you are with your English.
These are designed to help you bridge that gap from just understanding
to actually using the language naturally.
So, challenge number 1, we're calling it the observation game. Go to a local cafe, order your drink, then just sit and listen for a bit. Try to catch, say, 5 real phrases other customers use when they order.
Note them down.
Yeah, and think. Is that different from how I might say it? Notice their tone, gestures maybe. And maybe share what you noticed. Challenge number 2, the customization master.
Ooh, sounds fancy.
It's about ordering a drink with at least 2 specific changes. Asking for it extra hot or iced, or a different milk, oat or almond, maybe a flavor shot, vanilla, or an extra espresso shot.
Gotcha. Make it your own.
And maybe try recording yourself ordering it. Then listen back. How did it feel?
Yeah, reflecting on it is good. You can share how it went in the comments.
Definitely. And finally, challenge number 3, the cafe conversation starter.
Okay.
This one is about extending the interaction just a little bit. After you order, ask the barista a simple follow-up question.
Like what kind of question?
Could be anything easy, like, what's your most popular coffee here? Or maybe, what do you recommend for someone who likes milder coffee?
Just a little extra chat. Or even just, is this blend from a local roaster? If you're curious.
Yeah. That mini conversation builds confidence for longer ones later on.
And remember, the point isn't perfection. Language learning is fundamentally about connection.
So true. Every little attempt, every conversation, even if it feels clumsy, it's progress. Think of it like brewing great coffee. It takes time, right? You need the right techniques, and that daily practice really counts. But the result, worth it.
Totally worth it. So pick a challenge that sounds good to you this week. Don't be afraid to push yourself just a tiny bit.
Every interaction is a learning opportunity.
It really is.
And remember, fluency really is achievable. Just those 10 minutes or so of practice each day can make a huge difference.
We really hope this episode has given you some useful phrases, some cultural insights.
And maybe just that extra bit of confidence to walk into a cafe tomorrow and order like a pro. Don't be afraid to use the phrases. Try the challenges, step by step.
And keep an ear out for our next episode. We're always working on new ways to support your language journey.
So make sure you join us for that.
And hey, we'd love to hear from you if you have ideas for future episodes or specific situations you want help with.
Please let us know. Drop us a comment or message.
Yeah, we read everything.
Until next time, keep practicing and enjoy your coffee. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode from Simply English Pod.
Thanks, everyone. Bye for now.